Alright, just took a measurement of the triple rock ledge, but here's a peek of my scarecrows, if you will, for my food plots. If you haven't seen that food plot update, it's a really good one. There's my skeleton, my Polaris. I'll put a link in the description because I mean it's a really very in-depth and a good almost six weeks of food plotting, corn and beans, the ups and the downs. Okay, in my last food plot update, which covered the whole first 6 weeks of this whole saga, out of desperation, I parked a skeleton and an ATV, a side-by-side of my tractor out in these fields to try and dissuade the deer and critters just for a day or two to give my plots an update. So obviously by these pictures you could see, well, at least a tractor that sure did not work, because the deer don't seem to mind eating my corn right next to my nice tractor. All right, it's time for fertilizing. I got my buddy over that's going to do it for me today. Put the ATV sprayer back on. That only took like literally 3 minutes because I had it all set up from last year. I saved everything, the U-bolts, these heavy screws in there for more support. So bing, bang, boom, it was on. We're going to go out and spread urea. I got 3 bags left for some corn spots. And I got one 624-24 I'll hit with some beans. And you can hear it thundering. They're saying we're going to get clobbered here. 80% chance in about an hour. So we'll see, but let's get some fertilizer down and fingers crossed. Corn's almost getting too big to drive over. I'm hitting the spots that are either A, by a stand that's strategic, and then B, the ones that are doing the best so far. I'm going to hit those since I have a limited amount of urea. Alright, here we are, July 2nd. Man, I ran over some rows. I hated doing that, but them look at how wide them tires are in the rear. Note to self. Next ATV, don't get them wide tires for a work machine anyways. I mean, look at that, there's a whole row down, just knocked down. And because I didn't know I was doing it, because the front tires were fine. It was them back tires. So let me find some beans that are doing okay. I mean, I wonder, I don't know if this corn will pop back up or not. Let me find some beans and show you. All right, I do think this scarecrow is working a little. It seems like this area is not as bad. So I just put 2 sweaty shirts on there, even though it's supposed to rain. And thanks to the shout outs, they're like, put your shirts. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. So it's probably going to rain here in an hour or two, which is fine because I just fertilized. Then I'll come back tomorrow and put some more sweaty shirts on them. So, not giving up yet. They got to get at least 4 to 5 feet tall before they tassel. Otherwise, it's still going to be dead in the water. Stay tuned. So here's some beans, not quite where they need to be yet. But this rain will help. And then I'm going to spray foliar after the rain, if it rains, tomorrow or the next day. I'll hit it with foliar also. You know, I mean, yeah, it's half blank, but that's critters ate it. I mean, and I can't go in and replant unless I go in by hand. I ain't going to do that. You know, there you could see beans. They're still getting eaten down. But a couple of rows in certain spots are getting close. Close to big enough, but a long way to go yet to get past the deer. Stay tuned. All right, here's one thing I did notice with the beans. Okay, remember I put 2 different kinds in. Well, lately, a whole bunch more have started coming up. They came up like literally almost a week and a half to 2 weeks later than the first ones. And that's probably that different strain. The ones that are supposed to, you know, one's going to grow earlier and one's going to grow later. So yeah, them are nipped off. But fingers crossed, that might double the tonnage or add another third, because I planted 2 bags of one and 1 of the other. So maybe more tonnage will help. We'll see. Sharon commandeered my shop. She's got the air on like 42. She's an Eskimo. One of her projects for the cabin. Our dehumidifier in the house went out. Luckily the air still works, but the humidity is way too high in there. And of course it's 4th of July weekend. So, yeah. Just finished fertilizing 10-15 minutes ago. But I don't think we're going to get much rain because it's real spotty on the radar. But if we could just get that fertilizer soaked into the ground, that will be a really nice bonus for 4th of July weekend. Oh man, come on. Just like 10 minutes of this. Right here. 10 minutes is going to be just enough. All right, now we're getting pummeled. So they got a flood warning right now for our town. So the good news is that the fertilizer is soaking in nicely. So maybe something good will happen.